And we are live tonight, folks. It's going to be a double feature on this channel. Going to be doing both live reviews for Monday Night Raw, yesterday's episode, the March 20th, 2017 edition, and immediately following this review, we'll be back up here live for SmackDown Live, the March 21st edition. Something new I'm trying on this channel. Didn't have time to do a live review after Raw last night for obvious reasons. I didn't really think the show was that good. I was tired. I had to get up at work at 6 a.m., so I figured I'd rather just wait till after SmackDown because I obviously have more energy. And with all that out of the way, brought my good friend Jack Southall back on. Jack, it's great to have you back on. You're joining me for both Raw and SmackDown, so it's good to have you back.
Yep, thanks for having me, man. I love being on this channel. I love talking shit about wrestling. It's just what I love to do more than anything when it comes to YouTube. And yeah, let's talk about whatever the fuck this was. So
this was Monday Night Raw. And this was a show that there was some stuff I liked. Don't get me wrong. I'm always going to find the positives. But I don't know. Like I was enjoying the first half, and then after that, it just kind of went downhill from there. Like, I don't know. Like, I was good up until the Owens-Jericho highlight reel. That was good. And it's like, after that, it just, I don't know what happened.
Well, for me personally, just mostly the whole 3 hours just kind of like, it was just unsteady the whole time for me personally. So, like, yeah, there were some good things, but like for Raw, it just kind of just, it
didn't
was like
feel
going off road.
I mean, to me,
I didn't
it
really
felt
feel
like
anything with this show.
Well, you can tell when they try with Raw. And then you can tell when they're just going through the this felt like going through the motions. I'm like, come on now.
Exactly.
And you know what? Okay. But next week, you better get your shit together. You better give me a really good go. I want that really good go.
They better.
Let's go.
Fucking better.
You can't.
It has to be kicking the balls, honestly.
But, yeah, so we're kind of in the same agreement of what we thought of Raw. So let's, without further ado, waste no time. Let's get into Raw itself. Let's talk about how the show kicked off. The in-ring segment, Mick Foley comes out. As you all know, he stood up Stephanie and Triple H last week. So you knew that this was probably going to be the end for Mick Foley. They've been building it up. They've been dragging this shit out for months and months.
They have.
Poor Mick. I mean, I feel bad for him. Every week he gets fucking emasculated by Stephanie McMahon. And, of course, on his way out, what happened? He got emasculated. Oh, boy, did this guy get emasculated.
Oh.
It was rough.
Don't get me started on Stephanie McMahon.
Every time she comes out. I mean, she's already on the list. She was on the list the first day I got this thing. So if I put her on the list every week, she'd be on here like, what, 30 times already? It's ridiculous, this woman.
Yeah.
But this I did like how they tied Sami Zayn into Mick Foley when he got fired, and then Sami Zayn came out. And I like how they finally put some focus and spotlight on Sami Zayn. So that was good. And then I like how they tied it in with Samoa Joe. And then we got what I thought was a solid match out of this. So I was okay with the way Raw started. I thought it was a nice tie-in. I thought the match between Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe was solid. Of course, they're continuing to book Joe as a dominant monster with the blood in his eyes. That was nice.
I love it.
With the Coquina Clutch. So see, this was good. I thought this was a good way to start Raw. What did you feel about this? How'd you feel about this?
I thought this was a decent way to start off as well, although Stephanie can go die in a hole and all that stuff. Seeing when she fired Foley, it was a bit upsetting, although it felt like the last couple of months, Mick Foley hasn't exactly been acting like Mick Foley. Usually he's very cheery and, puts a smile on your face, but really he's kind of been a bit of a downer. I don't know if it's just me, but I think that's kind of the way his character has been going. But but like this kind of helped put some sympathy on him. And especially with last week of how they were trying to get him to fire one superstar, and he went to fire Stephanie.
Oh my God. I wish
that was. Oh man, I kind of popped for that. That was pretty cool.
It's true. They know it. I mean, come on. They just threw it in our faces. It's like they know this woman's annoying, and they continue to put. I mean, she was all over this show. My God. I know.
Overall, I love how Sami Zayn finally got some spotlight. Sami Zayn is one of my favorites on the Raw roster. Definitely, probably the best babyface Raw has. You may say Chris Jericho now that he's turned face, but Sami Zayn's definitely up there for me. And I liked how they kind of tied him with that. And the match with Samoa Joe was very, very solid. But I'm hoping sometime down the line, if he gets a shot at like a main event spot, which he should, and all that. And yeah, if he gets a big time match with Joe, I reckon these two could have a classic. And yeah, this was still a very solid match. Samoa Joe, what a badass this guy is, man.
His
Ever
intensity.
since he's come up to the main event.
I
love it.
It's off the chart. He screams like a big time, big deal. When his music hits, you know shit's gonna go down. And he's one of the highlights of Raw every week. And I'm just curious, what are they gonna do with Joe at WrestleMania? That's still the biggest puzzle.
I'm not really sure what they're going to do. Maybe a match with Zayn, or they're going to put him in the Battle Royal. I'm not sure about. I think Strowman should win that Battle Royal. Have Joe wrestle Zayn in a match if you're going to put him on the show or whatever. If not, if you have to put him somewhere, put him in the... And this is like a last resort for me. Put him in the Battle Royal if you just have to. If so, have him or Strowman win. Yeah.
See, if Joe's in there, then I think Joe has to win. But if Strowman's going to be... See, they both would have... That's the prop, because they both need to have a big moment at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So,
at least make them the final two, at least. And see... and have those two kind of slug it out. Yeah.
It's the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. I could care less at this point. I mean, who's even in this? Big Show, Curtis Axel, Dolph Ziggler,
Mojo Rawley.
That. It's just like, I just wish they had stuff better for Strowman and Joe. That's just me.
Exactly, yeah.
Anything else you want to say about the opening segment and the first matchup between Joe and Zayn?
It was fine, but I wish it could have led to something more afterwards when Zayn lost. Yeah,
maybe Balor returning. I was hoping, but I don't think he's coming back till after Mania, or either at Mania or after Mania. That's when
I think it's going to be the night after Mania, so he can get that big pop.
Yes, I can't wait. Oh god, that's going to be great. I've been waiting.
Yes.
So we'll see.
I thought he was coming back at the Rumble.
I know. We've been waiting that long.
Perfect, but no.
That's all right.
It'll be Save this show, please.
Yes.
Save this show.
He will. Speaking of, I did like how Foley walked in the back and talked to all the superstars, talked to Zayn and Cesaro and Sheamus, Bayley, and then I like how Triple H, what a fucking dick. This is great. He's just like, have a nice day. And he's like, see ya, Mick. Oh, man, that was just what an asshole.
Yeah, Triple H has to be probably one of the best heels of all time.
He's a prick. He's a natural prick.
Oh, man. Like, he's good. Yeah, like, he's a good face when he's with, like, D-Generation X and stuff like that. But when he's a heel, he's at the top of his game. And I feel like if he keeps this stuff with Seth Rollins and all that, if they are going to have their match at WrestleMania, which I think they will, but we'll get to that stuff later on. Yeah, Triple H, just, man, what a heel. And we see more of that later on, so.
Yes, I did like that Triple H segment, and we'll get into that. Speaking of, we had an injury update on Seth Rollins. His doctor said he re-injured his knee, and Rollins, this is what he said, but we know he'll be ready. He said he will not be ready for WrestleMania. Yeah. He said the fear is that Rollins does show up at WrestleMania. He will be right back in their office the next day. So I kind of like it. You know, they're weaving in storyline with the actual injury, trying to play up that doubt. But I think we all know, it'll still be interesting to see what type of in-ring stuff Seth can do, because I heard he was cleared to do that angle on Raw, but he's still kind of limited. So we'll see. It's touch and go.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with Rollins right now. I'm praying to the wrestling gods that he does make it to Mania. I think we all are, because that is one of the best hyped matches for WrestleMania right now. I mean, the build-up has been great.
I love it.
To be honest with you, there have been a lot of matches on WrestleMania that have had great build-up. I think we're in store for a pretty damn good WrestleMania if this build-up.
People are doubting it, and I think you're right. I think it's gonna deliver. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't see why anyone else doesn't want it to deliver. I feel like
Some
fans,
people just
they
like
kind
it
of
to
want it.
To fail?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't want it to
You're right.
fail. I want every WrestleMania to be great because it's the biggest show of the year. Why wouldn't you want it to be great? But
exactly. You're
who
right.
cares?
You're absolutely right. So that's just another issue with fans in general. I'm not even going to go there, the negativity. But
Nah.
we're keeping the power of positivity alive in this review. Unfortunately, we have Charlotte versus Dana Brooke, which made the list. I put that on the list last night.
Fair enough.
What was this? Ugh.
I don't know. Yikes!
I mean,
she needs she's
work.
not the worst thing ever. Don't get me wrong, but yes, she needs
potential.
more. I feel like that way too early, in my opinion. Way
she
too early.
Still be on NXT.
She should be with Emma if they have any idea what the fuck they're doing with her.
I know Emma. She's lost. Maybe she's back in Australia. She probably is. I mean, she's just relaxing.
She could be in Melbourne right now. I don't know what she's doing here, but
it's like, hey Emma, what you doing? What character are you gonna do today? Evil Emma.
She just flip flops.
I know.
What are you
so we'll see. I hope Emma and Dana reunite. Like I said, I think they were solid pairing.
Well,
and they just
now that Dana's face, I'm not sure what they're gonna. But then again, it's the women's division, so she can turn heel like 2 weeks later.
It's a mess. All right, the Raw. We'll get into it later, but this Raw women's, it's just a cluttered mess, and this brought down the show. I did not like what they did with the women tonight, and we'll get into that other match that happened. I was not a fan of that. So, anything else you want to say about this before we move on to something really good here? Probably the highlight of the show.
Is there anything to say about a Charlotte Dana Brooke match?
No, it was just Charlotte won. That's all you need to know. Big boot. All right, let's talk about this segment. Boy, oh boy, I am loving this feud. I am loving every single moment of Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens and the highlight reel with Chris Jericho exposing who the real Kevin Owens is. This was beautiful. This was storytelling. Jericho got you in the palm of his hand and crafted a beautiful narrative talking about a young Kevin Owens and how he idolized Chris Jericho and how it was through this idolization that Owens really wanted to be Jericho all along. But at some point, Owens will realize, what he's gotten himself into. And I loved it. Jericho is going to put Owens on the list. I'm like, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. And then Jericho gets distracted by Joe. Owens attacks Jericho, hits the pop-up powerbomb. I mean, here comes the shocker, folks. This was shocking. I'm still in shock. Owens ripped up the list.
Don't say it.
Now,
you're going to get me to cry, dude.
Jack,
I don't want that.
For those watching live, I would like a brief moment of silence for the list of Jericho.
Let's all pay our respects, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. Wow.
Hey, hang on. I need to grab a tissue. Hold on.
Jack, the list. I still have my list, thank God. But the list is ripped up. Owens did the unfair. Owens got a ton of heat because the list was over. This was, wow. What did you think of this segment?
I'm absolutely disgusted with Kevin Owens. I cannot believe he had the audacity to rip up something Jericho had so precious. The list. Not only that, he ate the list.
He ate it. Oh my! Eat it up, man.
Monster. Who eats lists?
Kevin Owens.
Not only that, paper is just disgusting to eat, but still,
it is. It probably got a paper cut on.
Seriously, that list had more personality than any woman on Raw. Seriously, like
or Roman Reigns.
Anything has more personality. Fucking Mitch the player has more.
Yes.
Personality. Remember him from last year?
I remember Mitch. God. The list is gone. Now we lost Mitch. We're losing them all. We really are.
All of our favorite inanimate objects going, man.
It's just crazy. This was. Oh man, I'm loving this feud.
This is awesome.
Yes,
dude.
This
what
Jericho.
A bunch of
it's working. Owens is getting booed, which is good. He should be. Like I'm pissed at him, which is good, and I want to see Jericho kick his ass.
Hell yeah.
That's how it should be. Jericho's
dude. Like he's one of the rare people who is awesome at being a babyface and a heel. Like that is a
he gets it.
he knows how to connect the crowd. Like the whole cheer me on, man, and people will willingly cheer for Chris Jericho. It's
natural.
He's one of the all-time greats. He's one of my all-time favorites. And for stuff like that, that is why, man. And Owens, he's been a great heel throughout this entire feud, man. And I really enjoyed the picture of Kevin Owens in the Y2J shirt. I'm like, that's too good.
What did he call him?
That's great. Yeah, call him a nerd and all that.
That was great.
When he showed the picture up, it brought so much into the storyline, I feel like. And it added another like dimension to this feud.
Yes, it did.
Which, you know, on top of the best friends thing, the whole Owens just wants to be Jericho. You know, it makes more sense. So I can't. This match is going to steal the show at Mania.
That's what I'm saying.
I cannot fucking wait for this.
See, like, there's matches like this and the Cruiserweights and Rollins and I think Mania is going to be good. We'll see how it plays out, but I don't see why people are saying, this is the worst Mania card ever. I'm like, shut up.
Obvious. I think like 3 months ago when people didn't see the build-up and the storyline and just saw it on paper, it was like, what? But then WWE proved us wrong with the storytelling and how they're doing things to build up this match. Hell, even Lesnar and Goldberg, I'm kind of intrigued by. Everyone said that match is going to shit the bed.
I'm looking forward to. I like how there's been a long-term story with that. I'll give them credit. They've been telling it since Survivor Series, and they've followed through on it. So you know what? Follow through and finish out the story. That's how it should go down.
Yeah.
I know some people won't like to hear that, but I want to see what happens. And they're the two. Let's face it. Hate to say it, but it's true. They are the 2 biggest draws in the company right now. That's an indictment on WWE, but that's just how it is. You know what? You got to go with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
but moving back to
they're going to kill it at WrestleMania. It's not like Owens doesn't have a match or a play. He's going to have a prominent role at this show, and it's going to be. It should it have been for the Universal? Yeah, probably. But you know what? It's still going to be for the U.S. title, and you know they're going to go out there and have a great match. So it's a win-win. You know what? I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, I feel like this may be match of the night. Actually, there are so many matches that could be match of the night. But yeah,
can't wait.
Let's move on.
Speaking of, T.J. Perkins versus Brian Kendrick wasn't really much of a match. It made the list. What was
existed.
This?
Can't even remember.
Because it's tough. It's only been one day. That's a scary thing. Because after the match, Kendrick said Tozawa left his passport behind. That means he's stuck in Japan. Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, it's like I can kind of see where they're going, but I kind of enjoyed the Kendrick being Tozawa's mentor and that.
Okay.
I was okay with that. I didn't get the passport thing though.
No. That was just weird.
All right.
Whatever.
Something.
Sure. So, anything else you want to say about that? Because I really don't. The match was nothing.
No.
Segment afterwards was nothing for me. Oh boy.
Collect your passport, Tozawa. I guess that's all I can say.
Well, this match that we're about to talk about made me want to get my passport and leave the country. This was not good. The crowd. Did you see the crowd just shit all over this man? And I felt bad for Bayley. Like they were put. I mean, it's just the way that they have been booking this women's division. It has done none of these.
Bayley versus Nia Jax. I wasn't even paying attention, honestly. Like, no disrespect to Bayley and Nia Jax.
I've seen them have good matches.
Like, yeah, like the match they had at the Takeover in London. That was really good.
Because it told a story, and they built to it. This, it's just like, logically, somebody said this on Twitter. Wouldn't it make sense for Charlotte and Sasha to get involved, to keep it a triple threat? Why would you want Nia Jax in the match?
They were just standing at the back, like, watching, like, I know Nia Jax has a good chance of beating Bayley, but I'm not going to do anything, even though we've interfered in every other match that's happened. Nah, let's just stay to the back. Let's just have a coffee break and all that. But
really?
Yeah.
This division. It's a jumble, and of course, champion. Here's my biggest problem: the champion loses again. It makes Bayley look like a shit. I don't get they just lose. And she loses.
This is why I can't get behind also Gallows and Anderson as tag teams. They're a great team, but
they are. The booking.
Stop losing. Here's the thing with your champion. Your
We'll get to
champion,
that too.
yeah, your champion should be winning more instead of losing more. I don't get this whole idea in WWE's head that the title means you're invincible. Like, if you lose, nah, you're fine. You're all good. No, you look like a weak fucking champion. Seth Rollins had that problem in 2015 as WWE World Champion. Kevin Owens had that problem as Universal Champion late last year. And now Bayley and Gallows in it. It's almost like Raw doesn't know how to book their champions unless you're a part-timer.
Do you think that they're doing this on, like, they have to know, like, they can't just like once, okay, they're doing it again, okay, how many times we've seen, like, they have to know that they're doing it, and they know they're doing this, and they still do it.
Or maybe they just don't care.
Yeah, they don't care,
which might be the main thing.
Poor Bayley.
We have to phone only 5 people that
this whole thing is backwards. Bayley should have probably lost at Fastlane. Then you could set up the Fatal 4-Way somehow, some way. Charlotte's still champion. Why don't you do a triple threat between Sasha, Nia, and Bayley? Have the match end in some time finish way, and then they make the match a Fatal 4-Way. Since there was no determined number 1 contender, we're gonna have a Fatal 4-Way. There you go. I just set that match up. Would that make more sense than what they had here? Having Bayley lose? It's just stupid. I don't like how
and
they.
And then, not on top of that, the things you said before, they can go in and Bayley can have a massive moment at Mania, and then
they ruined that.
At Fastlane.
At Fastlane. Now on Raw, it goes all the way back to Raw. Like, why did she have to win on Raw? It's so stupid. They ruined that big moment.
Yeah, this is why you don't let monkeys write television, folks.
Stupid idiots. Seriously.
If you did, please tell me you wrote that on the list. Please tell me you wrote that match on the list. Now that I think about it, yeah.
This match made the list, and we got a couple. There's another match that made the list, and you could probably guess what that match is, and we'll get to it after. Where are we on the show? I gotta even.
That is if I can remember it. So.
Okay, here we go. That's
how forgettable rule.
I did like the in-ring interview segment with Michael Cole and Triple H. I thought Triple H was on his A game. He knew that the crowd was getting rowdy, and I just love how he pretty much manipulated the crowd to his advantage. He pretty much said that, people are going to get destroyed, and Foley got destroyed, and Rollins is going to get destroyed, and the fact that he left him in a crumpled heap. And, he pretty much said that Triple H said he made this all too easy for Rollins. He said he became a crutch for Rollins. And it's ironic that Rollins' crutch picked up a crutch and that Triple H picked up Rollins' crutch and beat Rollins with it. And he said he's done with Rollins. And, the fact that he says, well, if he still wants to fight him at WrestleMania, he's going to, even though Seth ain't clear, Triple H says he will draw up a hold harmless agreement. Funny, I wish we'd give Daniel Bryan one of those. Rollins will have to come to Raw next week and sign a contract for a non-sanctioned match. And if that is what people want to see, Rollins just needs to come to make this all happen. This sounds to me like, a non-sanctioned match. I had flashbacks back to HBK versus Triple H.
Yeah.
SummerSlam, the classic.
SummerSlam 02.
Woo!
That was shit. When Shawn returned and all that, oh, man.
Now, I like how they set this up, and to me, I think it's going to lead to a big segment next week on Raw. I look forward to what goes down between Rollins and Triple H. But I like this promo here. I thought he was on point. He just, he controlled the crowd. They were getting rowdy, but he was able, the game's just, he's the game for the reason. And this promo was on point, spot on, and got me hyped for next week. What did you feel about it?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said before, Triple H is probably one of the best heels ever. He knows how to get a rowdy crowd to shut up and listen to what he has to say. When people be smart and try to chant CM Punk, he knows how to shut them down instantly. And the whole idea of a when he mentioned non-sanctioned match, that got me excited. I'm like, ooh, okay, non-sanctioned match WrestleMania. Let's fucking go. I'm down for that.
Because as he said, it's not going to be on the company's hands. If he hurts and cripples Rollins like he wants to do, then that's his choice. There you go.
Yeah.
He accepted.
And not only that, this adds so much more creative freedom to both Rollins and Triple H. I mean, we're definitely going to see the sledgehammer involved. And not only that, maybe some other stuff involved. I feel like Rollins and Triple H will fucking tear the house down at WrestleMania. If now that they've put this non-sanctioned rule on there, man.
Now they got room to work with.
I'm getting excited just thinking about this. This is awesome.
I can't wait to see what goes down next week. See, that's why I'm thinking next week. You got this. You got Goldberg, Lesnar. You're gonna have the final build for Reigns, Taker, Owens, Jericho. It's next week. It should. Knock on wood. Give me a really good
Better
show.
be, yeah.
I know it can be.
I
I
can't
can
find
see
any
it's
wood
there.
next to me. Oh, yeah.
You have it there.
I knocked
You
on the
have
wood,
the
so.
table set. Let's go all out. I'm tired of these. The last two go-home additions to Mania, in my opinion, we had Tug of War last year.
Don't remind me of that.
The brawl. Remember that brawl between Triple H and that was the weakest. The weakest.
I can't really.
What was
I can't
worse?
really remember that.
The brawl
or
the tug?
The tug of war, though.
Tug of war.
Oh my god.
So the bar has
Tug
been.
of war. I fucking lost it at that.
I
I'm
still
like,
do that with Lesnar and Goldberg. The fruit roll up.
Fruit roll. Oh man.
God help me.
If they
don't give my. We won't. We won't give many ideas. But yeah, this was a good part of the show, I have to say. Highlight.
Yeah.
What wasn't a highlight, and this made the list. As soon as this match happened, I immediately put this on the list. This 2-on-4 handicap match, a giant waste of my life and my time. What was it? Sheamus and Cesaro versus Enzo, Big Cass.
I think it was actually Enzo Cass, Sheamus and Cesaro versus the champs.
Sure. And before the match, Gallows and Anderson attack Enzo and Cass.
Why?
And then I didn't get that. And
No, I think Enzo and Cass and Gallows. I don't know. Fuck this division.
They lost. Cesaro and Sheamus pinned. Who was it? Gallows or Anderson? I don't know. They pinned one of them. It was
really quick as well. It was so quick.
The heck did I just watch? Okay.
That made no sense.
No, it didn't. And it was a waste of time. I was like, why? For what reason? Really?
This has pre-show matching all over it. I can see it now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care. It's just like, whatever. And it's funny. I this morning, I was doing a little fantasy booking in my mind. What I would have done is, okay, you announced this match, Enzo and Cass, or no, it was Cesaro and Sheamus. They had the win. Otherwise, they'd be out of the triple threat. What I would have done is I would have had Anderson and Gallows beat down Cesaro and Sheamus backstage. You take them out. You do a vicious backstage beatdown. So now it's looking like, oh, shit. Okay, now we're just going to get a singles match between Enzo and Cass and the club. All right. And then, Enzo and Cass make their entrance. And as they're doing their shtick, you have Anderson and Gallows blindside them, beat them down. They're standing tall, puts heat on them. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. That's simple. See how simple it is? But no, you have to do this convoluted. Yeah. It was so stupid. Like, what was the point? There was no.
I didn't understand.
I didn't either.
I think WWE. I think they had like a bunch of ideas. They threw them into the hat. Some guy picked up like 3 of them and go, "Yeah, that'll do.
This will work." And
just do that.
Nope.
Teams are like sitting around and like what? We have to do all 3 of these? Like, yeah, go for it.
Like, this brought the show down. The tag stuff and if the women's stuff and the tag stuff was stronger, I would have enjoyed the show a lot more. But this stuff just went, yeah. So and
that's a perfect example. Ugh.
It did drag us down. But then we had, I thought it was a decent match. I did like the match was okay between Austin Aries versus Tony Nese. I am a huge fan of both guys. So it was nice to see Aries in his second week on Raw. He picked up the win here with the discus 5 arm by Aries. Afterwards, I did like the little back and forth that Neville and Aries had. It wasn't that long, but it did just enough to whet my appetite. And Aries, I love his impersonation of Neville as the king of the cruiserweights. I thought that was actually a pretty spot on impersonation. I know these two. They're gonna go into that ring. This is my potential pick to steal the show. If it ain't Jericho and Owens, Rollins, Triple H, it's going to be Neville's and Aries for the cruiserweight. I can't wait for this match. I can't wait. Oh boy.
I think this is going to be the match that gives the cruiserweight the good ass that's needed for so long.
Yes.
Well, the match between Neville and which one they had a few weeks ago was
good.
Awesome. That was
and Gallagher.
I'm like, where has this cruiserweight division been?
It's like they're so close. Come on, put it all together. You can do it. I know you can.
Yeah,
We've seen spurts of it.
They're gaining momentum, man. And if they keep going in the right direction, people might actually start to care about the cruiserweights and be like, oh yeah, I remember the cruiserweights. They're cool. So instead of like wrestling like every other fucking match you see.
Seriously, they raw-ized them. If that's even worse.
Yeah,
I mean, no, make them feel special, different, unique. That's what you need.
Yeah. And so, yeah, make it like what the cruiserweights used to be back in WCW in the mid to late 90s, and how they would always steal the show on just about every single pay-per-view. If you go in that kind of direction, then people will be like, oh, cruiserweights, got to watch this. So some good decisions, and I feel like Neville versus Austin Aries could be a great match. Austin Aries is the man.
He is.
Honestly.
And Neville's killing it.
And Neville's been doing...
Love it.
Neville's been a great heel as the king of the cruiserweights.
That
was a terrible impression.
That's okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so, yeah. Those two guys are going to have a good match, in my opinion. So, yeah, Neville and Austin Aries go out, steal the show, and prove to everyone why the cruiserweight division is worth watching.
Hey, I'm just happy Neville has a prominent spot at WrestleMania 5. Because last year, remember, he got injured in Pittsburgh 3 weeks before. It sucked. And I'm really happy.
Was he meant to win?
I think he was supposed to win the IC title. You know, and it's just like, oh, man. So now he's going in as cruiserweight champion against Austin Aries. Come on, that's just awesome. I'm happy for Neville.
Yeah,
really.
That's cool.
Yes. So now, the stage is set. It is time to talk about our main event. It's Braun Strowman.
The big dog. The big dog. He cuts the fist. He makes it rain.
Yes. Roman.
Do you guys know what time it is?
It's
time. You know what time it is.
He's going to cock that fist up.
Rains.
He's going to make it rain in this bitch.
There is nothing more that I love to do in this world than take the piss out of Roman Reigns. Just
do you like him yet?
So
you're really supposed to like him.
Oh, nah, man. Every time he cocks up this and yells out, ooh, ah, I just go nuts, dude. When he slicks that hair back, hits the spear, I am ready, I am there.
Oh, my God. When Strowman plowed through this, man, I literally watched that clip over and over. That was so...
Was that last week?
Yes, that was great. I love it.
Strowman standing there, doing nothing, and then Strowman... Boom! That was great.
Yes, it was,
dude.
You know, this match, it was okay. It obviously was. To me, it was just setting up for what happened when the gong hit and the Undertaker came.
Yeah, we were all waiting for it.
We knew he was coming. The crowd was ready for him, and the Undertaker shows up. He stares through Roman Reigns and eventually choke slams Braun Strowman, and Undertaker's like, ah, shit. I like when he said that, and he turned around, boom, gets hit by the spear. Roman Reigns.
Did Taker actually say shit?
I think he did.
On
like,
TV.
Shit.
But oh well, he's the Undertaker. He can do it.
He does. He sits back up and he does the classic Undertaker throat cut sign pose thingy, and that's how we go off the air here. So that was Raw in a nutshell. What do you think about the main event with Undertaker and what they did there?
So Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, they had their match. Braun!
I love Braun. Hey, at least Braun didn't lose. Thank God. I was like, thank you, Taker. Because Roman was
that at Fastlane. Well, I said this in my review. Why did he lose?
Because it's Roman.
It's Roman Reigns' time, baby.
So you got to make him look really strong.
He's got to make it rain in that bitch.
Yes.
And suffering cash, son. But moving on from that. Oh God.
They wonder why.
But seeing Undertaker, But seeing Undertaker out there was great. Undertaker. Choke slamming Strowman. I didn't know how to feel about that at first, but I was like, whatever. But then as soon as he hit the spear, he got hit with the spear by Roman Reggae. It was crazy. The fans were not into it.
Gee,
whatsoever.
You don't say. And what do you think's going to happen at WrestleMania? I wonder.
If they don't, because you know how we said last week, in that promo with HBK, how he said he wants to retire the Undertaker or
there
whatever.
He is, the heel.
I think if they have a segment, they have that segment next week where they announce the match and after his retirement, and if Roman beats Taker, which I've heard if it's going to be the main event, I've heard it's going to be the main event. Roman's going to beat Undertaker, apparently. This is not confirmed. And Roman beats Taker and will end his career, there is no way in hell. If WWE keeps Roman Reigns as a face, they are officially the dumbest company in existence. Vince McMahon, send him out. Triple H, Stephanie, if you have to put him on his bed, give him a needle. If you have to go that far, do it.
But God, you know that they're going to do it. They would be dumb enough to do that because they don't care. Vince is stuck on this in his ways. I don't get it. They try that.
But if he does beat The Undertaker and retire him, no one is ever going to cheer him, ever. Just the heat of that Lesnar got when he beat the end of the Taker's streak. Remember the night after Mania? No one was cheering him. No. It was heat on top of heat.
Undertaker's beloved. He's cherished. He's sacred.
One of the most loved wrestlers ever in the history of professional wrestling. And if Roman Reigns ends his career, the fans hate him enough as it is. This is going to be the thing that sets it.
I know.
And be like, nah, we can't cheer this guy anymore.
And again,
they have to turn him heel. They have to.
It's not Roman's fault. He's reading the script. He's going along. I feel bad for him. They put him in the shitty stuff. It's like you're ruining the guy's career on purpose. It almost.
Here's the thing. When I make fun of Roman Reigns, I'm not making fun of the guy who plays him, Joe Anoa'i or one of those. Because he has so much potential.
Yes, he does.
To be something great. But the monkeys in the creative team are like, all right, we're going to make you John Cena 2.0 with a bulletproof vest. There you go.
That was stupid. Wow. That was lazy. That's just laziness. You know? It's like I wanted to cheer. I thought we go all the way back to when I remember reading articles about him getting that mega push. I'm like, okay, I can get behind this if you make him like a non-PG, just badass. That's what he should. And what did they do? They did the complete opposite. And here we are 2 years later. Here we are. And they're going to do it. You watch. He'll beat Taker, and it ain't going to work if you keep him face. But it can work if you use it as the catalyst. If you want to go out main event that way and you turn him heel, that's a great way to go off the air. That would be a phenomenal.
I think that would take. I feel like if they do have Roman turn heel after the match, they'll kind of take some of the heat. Not a lot, but some. Or maybe it will add more proper heel heat than actual just heat for the guy.
Yes, indeed.
That was Raw.
Yeah. With all that out of the way, we come to our grades for this show. I know a lot of people didn't like this show, but I still found, looking back, reviewing it, I did like the opening, the Joe's, Sami Zayn stuff, the Jericho, Owen stuff was great. The Triple H interview was good. And stuff with Taker, that was all right too. So you know what? I'm going with a very low C-. It's close to a D+, but I'm going with C-. To me, it was just average. I think next week, hopefully, will be better. Jack, what grade do you give it tonight?
I was going to give it a C- as well. It was just your run-of-the-mill show. You had your good moments.
I mean, it wasn't god awful, I don't think. It wasn't like complete shit. It was just,
Yeah. It wasn't a good show. It wasn't a bad show.
Just an average.
It certainly wasn't the show.
No. We're going to talk about the show in a minute because we will be right back, folks. Immediately, we're gonna go off the air here, and then give us about 5 minutes or so. We will be back up here live for our SmackDown live review for March 21st, 2017. We have a lot to talk about. So, folks, that is it for this live Raw review. And give us a few minutes, and we will be back up here live. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/DanielGaza412. We're out.